shame the ones you do.
Guys, welcome back to Rydeus-The channel. Welcome to episode 26 in the Freedom series. In this video, we want to take into consideration that it would be difficult for you to really achieve your financial well-being goals if you don't take charge of your spending behavior. If you engage in impulsive shopping, if you engage in impulsive buying and immediate gratification, it may be difficult for you to actually achieve your financial well-being goals. So in this video, I'll share with you a strategy that I learned from Paul McKenna. You could YouTube him, Paul McKenna. Actually, he's a hypnotist, but you can learn a lot from him. I learned this from him, so I'll share it with you. One of the ways you could take charge or discipline yourself to take charge of your financial well-being is as follows. Now, what he said was, make a list of 10 things that your future would be grand if you are able to do these things. These things cost money. If you had more money, make a list of 10 things you would do. You could probably call it your bucket list. For example, you could say, if I had more money, if I was enjoying financial abundance, one of the things I'd do is I'd probably take my son to see the Clasico, followed by a Champions League finals in Spain. I might do that, or I might take my wife to whatever destination she wants to go to for a vacation. So whatever you want to do, however you want your future to be, make a list, call it your bucket list if you like, of 10 things that you would want to do. Make that list and fall in love with those things that you put on your list. Now the second part of that is this. Make a list of everything that you spend money on monthly. So when you receive your salary, monthly, weekly, fortnightly, however you receive your salary, make a list of every single thing that you spend money on. Now when you've made that list of everything that you spend money on, you're going to divide the list into 3. 1, you're going to put an A by everything that is absolutely essential. So there are some things that would be essential. For example, your rent if you pay a rent, your mortgage if you pay a mortgage, certain loans that are not flexible. So these things would be essential. You put an A by those things. You put a B by things that are important but not essential. You could get away with not doing them. And you put a C by everything else. Now, at the end of the month, when you receive your salary, you would have to take care of the A list, those things on the A list, or those things with an A next to them. And the things with a B next to them, you could negotiate with yourself the ones you could compromise. The ones you're not in a position to compromise, then don't. For example, if compromising one of your B's would compromise your relationship with someone that you value, then of course don't make that decision. It's important, but it's not essential. But it's important to preserve in the relationship that you cherish. So you can negotiate with your B's, the ones that you can compromise. And in terms of your C, what he says is, every time you're thinking about spending on a C, just think about something on your bucket list that you prefer to have in your future. So you're actually allowing a C to take the place of something that is on your bucket list. Because if you could give up this C, you could actually save money towards an item on your bucket list. So the A, we're going to have to take care of those things. The B, we're likely to take care of those things as well. But the C, we have a lot of discretion and flexibility, and we could say no to a lot of these things on our C list. Now, what he says is, do that for about a period of 6 months. Identify a designated period for which you would do that. Let's say about 6 months. And the savings you get within that period, you could actually use that savings, if possible, to take something off of your bucket list. You could do that. If it's not enough, you could actually use that savings to have a pool of funds that you could borrow from yourself in times of emergency, or as we say, that rainy day fund that you could create, so you wouldn't have to ask your friends for money, your colleagues for money, your parents for money, or take payday loans that you would have to pay. So you have this pool of funds that you could actually borrow from. To borrow, you are borrowing from yourself. And you can make a decision to repay yourself with interest. Or the third thing you could do with the funds that you will have saved, you could actually use it as capital, which we will talk about in a subsequent video. You could use it as capital to fund an additional source of income. But you need to fund an additional source of income that there's a huge, it's unlikely that you're going to lose. We'll talk about that in the next video. Before we end this video, I'll share with you another strategy that I use that it worked for me, it works for me. I've used it. In the first week of the month, so I receive my salary monthly. In the first week of the month, every time I'm going to spend, I spend from $100. And whatever change I have, I put it away. I never spend unless I'm spending from $100. In the second week of the month, I never spend $20. So I put away $20 bills. In the third week of the month, I put away $10 bills. In the fourth week of the month, I put away $5 bills. So that is my little system of having money. If I run out of money, if I am in a kind of rainy day, tough situation, I could reach into that pool of funds, borrow from myself, and pay it back if I want to, and pay it back with interest if I want to. There was one time where I said I had to pay 100% interest anytime I took from that fund. So if I took $100, I had to put back $200. And that's a means of building your wealth and helping you to develop habits where you don't have to be dependent on others, where you don't have to behave paycheck to paycheck, where if there's an issue, you could still take care of yourself for a month or two as necessary. So in this video, we basically wanted to share some steps that you could employ as you embark on your financial well-being journey to tidy up your spending behaviors. See you in the next video.